Hello, hello, good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to our weekly Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. I'm going to give this a second to load up in your people's news feeds and find this on my computer, and we will get started. Hold on. I didn't mute my computer, so that would have been really loud. So as you're jumping on, please say hello. Good morning, Heather. You know, if it's coffee and a card, we have to have coffee. So I'm going to sip this while I wait for some of you to jump on. Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning, Margaret Ann. Good morning, Sandra. I'll try not to, I move around a lot in my chair, I've noticed, as I watch back some of my Facebook Lives. So I'll try to stop that because that might be a bit dizzying for people. Good morning, Sue. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Shams. Oh, so good to see everybody jumping on. Please continue to say hello. Going to do a little bit of an intro, and then we will get started with our crafting. So for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of connecting with on Facebook and that are watching for the first time, I'm Zara Premji. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Markham, Ontario, Canada. And I'm also a busy mom of 3, and I work as an occupational therapist with children with special needs. So 8 years ago, I went to a workshop, a Stampin' Up! Workshop, and really I just went because I wanted the social time and I wanted a chance to escape my busy mom life and maybe have some potato chips and socialize. And it was love at first sight. And it definitely gave me the break that I needed, but it also enabled me to make something super pretty, and I fell in love right away. And so this hobby has now become a business and a passion for me to help women find joy and creativity through paper crafting. And so one of my missions is to provide inspiration and ideas and creativity and tips that will enable you to be successful in your paper crafting journey. So thank you so much for being here. Hello, Brenda, Nicole. Hello, Janice. Hi, everybody. Okay, you still haven't gotten your tidying up done, and here you are. Well, I am super grateful for you, and Sue, I will send you pictures of what my desk looked like an hour ago because it was not pretty. And Heather, thank you for your empathy, because for those of you that don't know about my almost coffee disaster, was it Friday morning? I went to make a coffee, and then my husband was like, oh, by the way, that's the last of the coffee pods. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because we just went into a stay-at-home order, and you're only supposed to leave the house for things that are essential. This is at 7 a.m. So I had only just poured my first coffee. He said, we have no more coffee in the house. I literally started sweating. I need coffee in my life. It's one of my little joys right now. So fortunately, the grocery store near our house opened at 7 a.m. And we needed some other things. So my husband went and got lots and lots of coffee. So we are well stocked in our household. And I will be keeping a close eye on our coffee inventory because I just never want to experience that feeling again. So thank you for your empathy, Heather. It was crisis averted. So that was good. So let me tell you what we are doing today. So actually, before I do that, thanks for being here. I'm grateful that you join me every Sunday morning, or if you're joining for the first time, I'm super grateful for you. If you have friends or family that you think might enjoy watching these paper crafting videos or just need an outlet or something fun to do, then please share this or tag them below so that they can definitely enjoy this video. So I would super appreciate it if you shared the video or tagged a friend below. So let me tell you today what we are doing. I'm going to be featuring a stamp set that is actually retiring on May 3rd, okay? So I think that's 2.5 weeks, if my math is correct, but it's retiring May 3rd, right before our new annual catalog comes out. And I'm gonna show this to you. I know this is gonna show us backwards from the view that you're watching, but once I flip the camera down, you will see it all in the right orientation. And so this stamp set I had ordered right away when it came out in our annual catalog because I love anything with flowers. And I'm also a sucker for really good fonts. And so if you look at the greetings on this one, the fonts here are beautiful. So I had ordered this stamp set and I was super excited. I actually ordered the bundle because it is paired with a punch or oh my gosh, I think it's called the Delicate Tag Topper Punch. I'm going to show it to you in the catalog so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about and where. And so I ordered it. I was super excited. And then I looked at it. I was like clearing out my shelves and just going through some of my inventory and organizing it. And I realized I've used this once. I've used this once in a year. So I decided that I was going to give this some love and I was going to create some cards. Now, this is a beautiful stamp set. I love anything floral and I love things with big flowers. And this one's like a hand-drawn cluster of flowers or arrangement, I guess you could say. And so you'll see that it's so easy to work with and can create some beautiful cards. I'm going to show you the easiest and quickest birthday card you ever did see, and then I'm going to show you a few other ways to use the stamp set and the bundle. So this is retiring. The coordinating punch is sticking around, but we have a bundle price on it. So it's 10% off if you buy them together. And that bundle offer will end on May 3rd. Okay. So if you love it and you're, feeling like you could definitely use this in your crafting arsenal, then you definitely want to grab this before it's gone. Let me say hello to a few more friends. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Barb. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Hello, Heidi. Sorry, I was going to call you Jack because in your name it says Jack. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to actually be posting a reel on Instagram. For those of you that are on Instagram, look out for my reel in a couple of days because I actually took some video of this, what you see behind me and then what you see in front of me. Cause it's a pretty big distinction, it's very contrasting what you see behind me and what you see on my desk. Good morning, Gloria. I'm glad you found me. All right, so are we ready to get started? Let me flip the camera down. I will show you where in the catalog you can find this bundle, and then I'm going to create some fun projects, okay? So look away for a second while I reorient the camera. You know what I realized? I forgot to put on my AirPods today. I did that last time and I think the sound quality was probably a little bit better, but okay, let's do this. I'm going to move this up so that I know where I should be stamping. So I'm going to be staying on the paper. Oh, thank you, Brenda. I've just started learning how to do Instagram Reels. It's been kind of on my list of things to learn for a while. And I've tried a few. And so if you are on Instagram, please look for My Pretty Inspirations and you'll see my attempts at Instagram Reels. I'm getting a little better, but they're fun. They're lots of fun. Okay, so here's what we're going to be creating with today. So the stamp set is called Fancy Phrases. This is a red rubber stamp set. There are 9 stamps in here. Some of them I've already taken out and put on blocks. And then it's got a coordinating punch. And this is called the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. Okay, and I'm going to show you really quickly how you can use this at the end of the video. So stick around because I'm going to show you some other samples that I've created with this stamp set and just give you some other ideas of ways that you can use it. So make sure you stick around to the end. You will find this in our current annual catalog on page 126. And as I mentioned, it's a red rubber cling stamp set and coordinates with a gorgeous punch. And there are some really cute samples on the page here. And so hopefully these inspire you as well as the cards that I'm going to create today. So let's actually, before I move on to the crafting, I did want to show you how to mount your cling stamps. So I know I've showed this before, but in case there's anybody that's watching for the first time, I know this is sometimes a helpful tip for people. So when you get your stamps, they're all kind of in this red rubber piece and you've got to punch them out and then you mount them on these stickers. Okay, so those are going to show you what actual sentiment or image you are playing with. Okay, so when you peel it off, when you take it out of the red rubber, you have something that looks like this. So on one side is your laser etched image or your sentiment, and then on the back there's this backing that you peel off. Okay, so you take that off and then you find the sticker that coordinates with it on the sticker sheet here, and only peel off half. So every sticker has a backing that's split in half, so only take off half of it. And then you're going to take your cling stamp and match it up with the outline of, so you only want to match it up with the outline of the part that has the backing on. I don't know if that's making any sense. Hopefully the visual is helping. So once you stick that down, then you know that you're fairly well aligned with the sticker and you peel it off and then just pull the sticker part aside and peel off the rest of the backing and just make sure that it's flat on your surface. Okay, so that way it'll stick without having any bubbles. So that's how easy it is to mount your cling stamps. and then you just put them back. I put mine back into the spot that it belongs here, and then I actually peel off this red rubber piece, the backing of the red rubber piece, like that. I peel the whole thing off, and then I stick it onto the inside of my stamp case, okay? And then that just allows me to see if any of my stamps are missing from the stamp case, and then I know I need to go on a little treasure hunt, and then that's how I store everything, okay? So hopefully that helps for those of you that don't have a system for your red rubber stamps. And let's get started with the crafting. Hello, Michelle. Good morning, Lindsay. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, thanks everyone. Okay, I'm glad we're ready to get started. So let me start by sharing with you, like I said, the easiest and quickest birthday card you will ever make, okay? So on my sample here, I used the Highland Heather, and on the sample that I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna use Magenta Madness, which is one of my favorite pinks. If you guys know me, you know I love pink. So I'm just using our note cards and envelopes, which I just love for quick and easy cards, and I'm gonna take out my my envelope as well. So these note cards are already pre-cut and scored, and all you need to do is just fold it and burnish the fold line so that it's nice and crisp. So I'm just going to bring the corners together, and then I'm going to just burnish that, okay? So is somebody timing me? Because I really want to prove to you how easy and quick this is. So if you are new to stamping and have never done this before, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a card and be successful with it. Okay, so here are my stamps. I've already taken them and put them on a clear block. And I'm going to take my Magenta Madness ink and open that up. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys found that tip helpful. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up here. Okay, I'm just pressing into my ink pad, making sure that I've got ink on everything. Before I stamp it onto my card, I'm actually going to stamp onto my paper first, and then I'm going to go onto the card here. Okay, so I just wanted it a little bit lighter. I don't want it too intense on the actual card. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, and I'm going to stamp in the upper left corner. Okay, so there's the background of my stamp. And then I'm going to find my sentiment. So for the purposes of today, I'm only going to use the birthday wishes sentiment, but there are some really nice sentiments in here. So a little something for you. When I count my blessings, I count you twice. Sending a little smile your way. Keep it in case you need it sometime. And may your day be filled with heartfelt happiness. So there are some really good greetings that you can stamp on the inside of your card as well. So I'm just going to take my greeting here that says birthday wishes, because I feel like we always need birthday cards. And I'm just going to stamp that where some of the white space is here. Okay, so my card is almost done. I'm just going to add some bling because every card needs a little bit of bling. And so I'm going to use my rhinestones here. And let's find my take your pick tool. So I'm just using the putty end of this to pick up my little rhinestones. They already have adhesive on the back, so they stick pretty easily. And then the last thing we're going to do is just stamp our envelope, because we want to have, if we have the stamps, why not use them and create a coordinated look, right? So I'm going to take my ink pad here, ink that up. I'm going to stamp that off again, and then just stamp that in the corner of the envelope. So now I have this beautifully coordinated card and envelope, which I could pop in the mail, and it took me less than 5 minutes. And if you wanted to crank out a bunch of these, because our note cards and envelopes come in a package of 20, you could crank out 20 of these and just have 20 birthday cards on hand, so that as soon as you realize you need one, you just grab it and send it. Okay, so that's the easiest birthday card you will ever see. I don't know that you could make a birthday card any quicker. Okay, so the next card we're going to do is a little bit more stepped up. So it's still a very simple card, but you would probably want to have some additional supplies to be able to create this card. So I'm using some colored cardstock. So I've got my Coastal Cabana, And then I've got a piece of basic white. It's just a layer that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then I had just cut a whole whack of these, but I cut too many of these by accident when I had my stamp camp. So I had them lying around and I thought I'll use that for my sentiment. And then I've cut some ribbon and I'm going to use my Coastal Cabana ink for this one. So I'm going to clean the stamp. I'm just going to use my chamois. Hello, Sonia. Thank you for sharing the video. I appreciate that so much. So I'm just going to clean my stamp off because I'm going to switch colors here. So once you clean it off, just make sure you've taken off all of the excess ink so that you don't get this kind of brown mucky color. Okay. Let me just tidy this up a little bit because I'm looking at the screen and it's a bit of a show here. Okay. All right, here we go. So one other tip that I have for you. So one thing I notice is on probably 50 to 70% of my cards, I'm using a white layer, whether it's for the front of the card or to put on the inside because I'm using a darker colored card base. So one tip that I have for you is if you have some white cardstock, just cut a whole bunch of them into these 4 by 5 1/4 pieces. So I just did some this weekend and I just keep a stack of these on my desk because I'm just always grabbing for some sort of white card base to put as an insert or as my card front. So I just keep that on my Stampin' storage on my desk and then it's ready to go. So I just feel like it saves me a little bit of time or a lot of time. So there's another little tip for you if that's helpful. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my flowers here. So I'm going to grab the Coastal Cabana ink and I'm going to stamp this again in the corner here and then do the same thing again. Now I just refilled my Coastal Cabana, so it's a pretty intense color, which I don't mind. I think it's pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to do the top right and then the bottom left. Maybe I will do this side here. Okay, so you're just kind of stamping on each corner and just filling in most of the white space there. I'm also going to show you a third version of this, which has a little bit more of a technique to it, which uses the blending brushes. Actually, I shouldn't close my ink pad because we're going to stamp the greeting. Again, using the birthday wishes. Oh, thank you, Serena. Yeah, you always have a stack of cardstock. I don't know why I haven't, I don't know why it took me 8 years to figure out how much more efficient I would be if I kept a stack of white cardstock at my fingertips. I'm just pulling this a bit closer to me because I want to make sure I can get this straight. So I'm just stamping in Coastal Cabana. And if you're using a lighter color on for your flowers, then you may want to use black or some other darker neutral, okay? And so I'm just going to take a strip of adhesive and I'm going to add on some ribbon. So I'm using the Fine Art ribbon and these pieces measure 3 1/4 inches, okay? So I've cut 2 pieces and I'm just sticking them down like that. And then I'm going to reinforce with my dimensionals. And where have those gone? Let's see. I really have lost my dimensionals. 1 second, I'm going to grab some. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We've got the dimensionals and I'm giggling because Lindsay, I think you're watching and I know it. It really kind of bothers you when I don't start my dimensionals on the sides. Oh, I shouldn't stick this down yet. See, I got distracted. Okay, so now I'm going to put this onto my card base. Okay, almost done. So this is still a really quick and easy birthday card. And I'm just sticking that down. Now, if you don't have this particular label die, any kind of punched shape will do. And if you don't have punches, then you can just cut out a rectangle with your trimmer. So that's all there is to it. So I'm going to stick that down. Good morning, Arlene. Aw, thank you. Lindsay's saying it takes no extra time to start in the corner. I don't, it does because it requires thinking for me. And It's a bad habit. I actually had polled a few people, Lindsay, after the first time you said it. I polled a few people in a subsequent Facebook Live to see if others started in the corner. And I think most people start somewhere in the middle, so. But we can all still be friends, okay? We're all still friends. There's no division happening here over where you start your dimensionals. Okay, my friends, this is the card. Like, is that not the easiest, well, second easiest birthday card you could ever make? I love the floral background, and I love the greeting, and I've just added a few little embellishments, and I've got a really simple and beautiful card. I'm going to show you this card in other colors, so make sure that you stick around to the end because I'm going to show it to you in, I think, 4 other colors, okay? All right, so let's move on to card number 3. I didn't mean to do a bait and switch by saying coffee and a card and then doing 3 cards, but I hope that you guys are okay to stick around with me for a while. So I'm going to show you a card that involves our blending brushes, okay? And so I'm going to be showing you a technique called Faux fabric. And I'm actually going to go back in with my Magenta Madness, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm going to grab my blending brush and I'm using it. Hello, Deborah. Thank you for joining. Hello, everybody. If you've just jumped on, thank you so much for joining. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you comment below that you're watching the replay. And I would love to hear from you. So here's what I'm doing. I'm taking my Sahara Sand ink and I've got my blending brush and I'm just removing some of the ink onto my paper here. And I'm doing this just to reduce the contrast from the ink for the floral stamps and the actual white background. But I didn't want to use a piece of Sahara Sand cardstock because I wanted that kind of vintage look to it. So I'm just taking my blending brushes, which are so soft and smooth and beautiful to use. I'm actually going to try one with my makeup because I know in the makeup industry, many use these types of brushes to apply their foundation. So there's another use for it if you wear makeup. So I'm just going in and I'm going to just try and make sure that I've covered most of the surface area and just make sure I don't have any kind of stark white spots on here. Okay, so almost done here. Okay, so good morning, Jana. Happy Sunday. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my stamp again, and I'm going to clean this off because I'm going back in with my Magenta Madness. Okay, so let me grab that. And I'm going to ink this up and I'm going to stamp this 4 times, okay? So I'm going to go here once. I'll show it to you in the Calypso Coral. So the first one that I did is our Calypso Coral, which is like a beautiful coral color in our Subtles collection. And then just to show you some variety, I decided to do this one in Magenta Madness. Okay, so going to, there we go. So our background is complete and I've already done my greeting. So I actually heat embossed this in white onto a piece of Magenta Madness. So this card is a little bit more stepped up than the others, of course. So I'm just going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is how you get the faux fabric look, okay? Good morning, Natalie. Happy Sunday. Okay, so I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to this time use my subtle embossing folder. I believe this is retiring, which is kind of heartbreaking because I love it. And I'm going to run this through. What did I just do with my platforms? Here we go. So I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, or my Big Boss. And I'm going to run this through twice, okay? So I'm going to go once vertically, and then I'm actually going to turn this way. So you can already see the texture that's happening here on this card. So we're trying to go for the illusion of a fabric, just a fabric look. Okay, so I'm gonna run this through again. So if you have the subtle embossing folder, this is something that you can do with any stamp set really. So any background stamp, and if you run it through twice with this folder, you get this gorgeous fabric look to it. Okay, so let me show you this close up so you can see. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love how that turns out. And because of the blending brush on the background, it just looks like, I don't know, it has this beautiful vintage look to it. Tell me what you guys think of it. I hope you guys like it. Okay, so we're going to put this card together. There's not a whole lot else that's involved in this card. We're just going to stick this down and then add some embellishments, and the card will be done. So for those of you that use Stampin' Seal Plus, I shared this tip in a recent live. I was finding that every time I used this on an embossed piece of cardstock, it would tear the cardstock. And what I realized was that I was pushing too hard. So if you're having that problem where it actually tears your cardstock, just go on with a lighter hand, okay? So I'm actually just putting very light pressure and it doesn't tear the cardstock. So I'm glad that I figured out that fix because we were having little fights about it, me and my Seal Plus. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the idea. Oh, you're most welcome. I'm happy that you like it. Okay, so let me show you the ribbon that I'm using. So I'm using the fine art ribbon because I'm also using the gold pearls, the metallic gold pearls. And so the way that I'm going to put my ribbon down is I'm just going to start here. This is my favorite ribbon trick. Okay, so I just start on the back, I put some adhesive, and then I just weave it in a Z or an N pattern. That's pretty good. And then just trim the end on a diagonal. Thank you, Kelly. On a diagonal. Whoops. There we go. Having some scissor troubles here. Okay, so I don't measure it actually. I just kind of stick it down until it looks like it's the right length. And then we're going to add some dimensionals, and Lindsay, I'm going to go on the border here. This makes me chuckle. Every time I start a new sheet of dimensionals, it makes me laugh. Okay, so then I'm just going to put this on right here. So I personally love it with this Fancy Phrases stamp set. There's something about this floral image that makes me so sad that I haven't used it sooner, but also I just love that it looks like it's hand drawn. And it's so, but if you don't have this stamp and you have any other stamps that have these arrangements of flowers, then you can create the same type of look with what you have. And so I'm just going to add some pearls. And I'm just using the putty end of my take your pick. You can add a whole whack of them if you want, but I just wanted, there we go. I just want 3. I want the background to kind of speak for itself. So that's it for the card. Let me show it to you in the Calypso Coral. So this is 2 different color combos, and I'm going to show you some other color combos for this particular stamp set. So you can just see the variability in what you can do, the colors that you can use with it, the level of stamper that you are. So if you're a beginner, you definitely have an option here with just some note cards and envelopes. So you can just dabble and try it out. And then if you've got some other tools, which I know many of us do, because we just need to have it all, then you can change it up. So lots of different options for what you can do with it. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you guys like them. Okay, I promised I would show you how to use the punch, okay? Because this is sold as a, here's a little tag that I created with it. And I had a piece of Magenta Madness cardstock, which I have now misplaced. So I'm going to grab another one. But before I do that, it's like a black hole. My desk is like the black hole. I lose things so easily here. I don't know where it's gone. Hold on. Let me grab a piece of Magenta Madness cardstock so I can just show you how to use that punch. And I'm going to grab my trimmer. Oh, here it is. Found it. It's at the back of all my things. Okay, so here's a cute little tag, and this is using the fancy tag topper punch, okay? So all you need is a piece of cardstock with a width of 2 inches, okay? It doesn't matter how long it is. And you just take this and you slide it into the punch, and you punch it out, and then you're gonna get this beautiful tag topper, which you can put some ribbon through, and then you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. So I could literally just take my stamp and stamp whatever excess ink. Well, that didn't work. Let's do it this way. Stamp whatever ink color you want on it, and then you've got a beautiful little tag that's ready to go, okay? And then you can add your sentiment. So what I did was I took the sentiment that says sending a little smile your way, and I just stamped it on a piece of white cardstock and then just cut it up into smaller pieces and stuck it on and added some embellishments. So like I said, this is sold as a bundle, but you can also purchase the individual items separately. So if you wanted to purchase the stamp set and the punch together, you'll save 10%, and it's only $54.75. So it's a great deal and a great way to get a nice coordinating punch that you can use for tags and things like that. So this is available until May 3rd, or until the stamp set sells out. And what else did I want to do here? I think that's it. Did you guys like that? Did this inspire you? Did you not think that this might be super easy to use and that you can use this with other stamps? And hopefully that's inspired you. Let me show you some other colors. You can see I was busy stamping this morning. So I've got it here in the Highland Heather. And then this is with the Calypso Coral without the faux fabric background, just on white. Here it is in Magenta Madness. And then I've got it here in Daffodil Delight. And then we've got it here in Coastal Cabana. So I'll just let you take a look at that for a second. And of course, you don't want to leave your envelopes naked, so make sure that you stamp those with the coordinating color so that you have a nice coordinated look. Let me just look at the comments. Hello, Sharon. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I love the love I'm getting here. I'm glad that you guys like these cards. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that you liked it, Nicole. So if you love this and you don't already have it and you'd like to purchase it from my online store, you can definitely do that. I will put a link in the description. And if you use this host code here, you're also going to get some additional goodies from me. So you will get a package of embellishments, brand new embellishments. You will also get 2 tutorial bundles, and you'll get a handmade card in the mail from me. So if you're in Canada and you'd like to shop with me, I would love to be your demonstrator. And I hope that you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. It is pouring rain here in Toronto, well, in Markham, so I know I'll be doing lots of crafting and hanging out with my kids. I'm just putting look at all the cards I made. And believe it or not, I did them all this morning. I woke up early and had some quiet time and did some crafting. So lots of different possibilities for this stamp set. And if you have any questions, comments, I would love to hear from you. And take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye for now.